Hello and welcome to the Netflix and Chill podcast, the podcast where two unqualified young men attempt to critique a randomly chosen film on Netflix. In an attempt to make this as simple as possible, we have devised a profoundly complex process of semi-randomising the results. Each week we'll draw a rating and genre from a hat, then each man will select two films from a database that meet the criteria. These four films then go into a hat again, and we randomly select one to watch that week. And then chill. Hello and welcome to the Netflix and Chill podcast. I'm James.
I'm Dan.
So last week we were looking at Maiden Trip, and this week we're going to be reviewing In Your Eyes, which is a 2014 independent romantic film.
Which is my initial gripe is with the independent bit.
It's pretty big names. Well, not massive names. Well, in terms of the writer. The writer is
Joss Whedon of
man behind thingy, what they called Avengers. Didn't he? Directed the Avengers.
He also did Buffy the Vampire Slayer and
so pretty big. I'm guessing it's just the fact that whoever produced, like the company that produced it, is an independent company.
Yeah,
probably with a big load of money behind it, but it's still technically independent. Ah well. Yeah. But yeah, so I guess do you want to give a quick overview or get straight into it? Whatever you want.
Well, I mean, the sort of one sentence summing up is, this is a story about two people who, for some reason,
they
have
can
a telepathic connection.
Yeah,
where they can see
through each other's eyes, basically.
Yeah, they can see what each other is doing and hear them.
Yeah.
I guess feel them.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that later.
This is a...
It is a romantic film. But, basically, they can see... Yeah, what was I going to say then? So they can see through each other's things, but they can't... They can, like, semi-control...
Yeah, they can sort of shut each other out.
Yeah, but they can still kind of feel the presence in a way. There's some sort of terrible description where it's like, I feel like I'm underwater.
Yeah.
It's just like, what's that?
Yeah, it's all... I mean, we'll get... As the story develops, it just gets muddier and muddier.
Yeah. It starts off where the kid's done it, so...
Yeah.
Our main character, or one of the two main characters, Dylan, is in a classroom as a young boy, so it's... Obviously, different actor.
Note here, in that classroom, the teacher is in school, in the classroom. The teacher has some incredible sideburns. I don't know if you noticed that.
I don't think I noticed that.
Mutton chop level sideburns.
I saw a bit of sideburn, but I don't think I took in the full appreciation of...
Yeah, that was one of my first notes. Teacher has
That's
some
what
sideburns.
I've just got sideburn orientated. So I did quite like the... it goes throughout it. But it's always hinted that Dylan, basically, smart kid, and quite, well, not very intelligent, but intelligent, more intelligent than people he's around, but he's in with the wrong people.
Yeah.
So he's in the classroom with these kids, and he's there mucking about, talking back to the teacher, gets the grades back. They'll get bad grades, and he gets an A-, I think it is.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yes, but secretly. Because he's secretly good, but he's also a bad guy.
Yeah, he's the good guy that...
The bad
he's
boy.
sort of a bad guy, but he's actually a good guy.
Yeah.
Sort of.
But anyway, so he's in the classroom, and then he basically can see through Becky. She's called Becky, isn't she?
Yeah, I think it's Becca.
Is it?
I don't know.
Well, she through her eyes, as a child as well, and she's coming down a sledge slope, going into a tree.
Mm.
And then, so that happens, and then Dylan kind of passes out in the class.
Yeah, it's a weird... this reminds me of a Sherlock Holmes story, I think, that I saw when I was like 9.
That's fine.
And there's a story where there's two twins who are committing crimes, but the twins feel what the other feels. So Becky slides down the slope, hits a tree, is like knocked out.
Yeah.
But Dylan feels that pain.
Yeah.
And that reminds me of a Sherlock Holmes thing where there's like two... The twist is that there's twins. You think it's one guy doing all these crimes or whatever.
Yeah.
So immediately I was sort of a bit sceptical about this. Because I don't think it works throughout the film, really.
No, it's a bit patchy. I mean, so what I got from that, and is kind of true, but as it progresses, it's kind of not true. Originally, it's basically traumatic experiences kind of trigger it. So it's like, it starts off with that, so that triggers it. And later on, and then when it returns, so in the present day, it's Dylan about to crash his truck, and she feels it, and she's like, stop, like that, and in the middle of a thingy.
But he almost crashes his truck because he's seeing
Oh,
double.
yeah.
So this is my...
It's kind of, so it's...
Where does this begin?
Oh, but then it's also the snooker cue, like pool cue, gets hit with that. She also feels that. So originally it was like traumatic or pain, and then in the end it was just like, I'm just popping up every so often.
Yeah, this is so patchy.
Yeah.
So we start with them when they're kids, and then we fast forward, I guess, 20 years ago. Dylan and Becca are probably, what, 20...
Late 20s.
27 years, something like that. And they're both grown up.
Dylan's fresh out of jail.
Dylan has been to prison in New Mexico. He lives in New Mexico. And Becky is married to a doctor in New Hampshire.
Yeah. Who's a very politically manoeuvring kind of guy.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as I saw that, you could see he was there already. The husband, at work all the time, wants her to act a certain way.
Yeah.
It was just like, that character was, as soon as you saw him, it was like, yeah, that's who he is. And he was exactly that.
A minor gripe I had as well is in Dylan's trailer. When you go in, there's a dartboard on the wall.
Yeah.
Only 5 darts.
Only 5 darts?
Darts are thrown in 3s. Where is the 6th dart?
He lost it. He's a scruffy guy.
Somebody stole it while he was in prison, I guess. But not happy about that initially.
You might have lost it. Character background.
Yeah, I mean, this is where things get a bit weird for me, because the implication is that this connection is triggered by traumatic moments. So apparently there's a gap here of about 20 years where we are led to believe that they don't have this connection, but it turns out they do.
Yeah.
They just don't realise it. So my question here is, if this is triggered by trauma, what happened when he was in prison?
Well,
like, that must have been trippy.
And then, like, when she was in the psychiatric hospital.
Yeah, where is this?
Well, that's the thing. At first, it was like, oh, must have been a gap. And then I thought, right, that's triggered it. It's back. But then they were talking, and it was like, oh yeah, I did feel something a little bit, but not really.
Like, obviously, we don't get an insight into what happened to Dylan in prison.
Well, I'm guessing a couple of things happened.
Exactly.
He's only a small lad. But
why did she not feel that?
Well, she felt something though. She felt.
Come on.
No, but I mean, that's what I mean. But it's not like. It should be, every time it's a traumatic experience, they experience it, but basically it's not. It's basically that's the first like flaw in the film, is that it's not. It doesn't make sense essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, in prison, there's 2 things that are happening, and he's going down. You can guess which 2 things they are.
Which is exactly my thought process, and I just put, it must have been messy in prison.
That's what triggered her psychotic experiences.
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah. So, sort of to compress the story a bit here, Dylan is sort of getting forced into going back into crime, robbery.
Yeah. So he's got his correctional officer.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's working at a car wash, isn't he? He's like doing that, not earning a lot of money, and then his old friends are like, do some crime.
Yeah.
And that's kind of happening. Oh, that's almost a side story, basically, of what's happening in his life. And then her story is, her story is just kind of, she's unhappy, really.
Yeah.
Her story is more her dealing with Dylan than anything.
Yeah, I mean, in between this bit, there's when he goes to the bar. Jesus Christ, man!
Which
fucking rednecks and
yeah, it was a classic.
Awful jokes.
My name is
jokes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bit with Dylan and a woman, Donna. I mean, Jesus Christ. where he doesn't have any money to buy her a drink, so he offers her
his own drink.
I mean, jeez.
The thing is, there was some funny lines I quite liked with him, which were signalling that he was like quite a smart guy. There was the smart one was where, not smart one, quite a funny one was so when he's on a date with that woman, and he's like, oh yeah, we usually have a barbecue at mine on the 4th of July. Barbecues in 4th of July, I kind of made that up myself. It's like saying like, then she's like, no, what? People always do that. But it was kind of funny that he was that. I also like the time difference thing. I thought that was funny when that first happened.
Yeah, I guess so. It was a bit of a...
I like that.
More cringing at that sort of stuff, to be honest.
I had a little chuckle.
But, yeah, so there's a scene at a bar where he gets hit with a pool cue, but on the other side of the country, Becky gets knocked over. Nothing really happens. And then the big sort of eruption of this connection is when Dylan wakes up late to work, gets in his truck, Ford F-150, I think it was, starts driving, and then starts having like blurred double vision with what Becky's seeing. She's in a lingerie shop,
something like that. I like, yeah.
And he can't see his own hand because he can see hers. He almost crashes, and this is where, before that happened, in my notes I put, must be impossible to drive. And then in the next scene, he almost crashes his car. Yeah. Because... And
then obviously, then she gets thrown across the shop and like... But then as soon as that happens, that's when they can hear each other.
Yeah, this talking. Is where an audio connection is established, apparently.
But as soon as that happened, it was kind of like... Oh, they look at each other's heads. Then she managed to block him out straight away, and like the vision went straight away. So it wasn't like... There was no battle, it was like... Oh yeah, if you just kind of block it out, yeah, it's fine. There was no like struggle to get used to it, and I also thought they kind of got over it pretty quickly, and were just kind of happy with the situation they were in.
Yeah,
because there was like, oh, what's happening, and then they were like, oh, I'm Dylan. It was like suddenly they were building this bond rather than there's a voice inside my head like, oh, what the hell's going on? It was like,
yeah,
oh yeah. So
I mean, I think it would have been a long conversation to get to that level of comfort.
Yeah, exactly. It was like straight away. Like... They weren't really that bothered about sorting it out.
Yeah,
they were just kind of like happy. Just like,
I mean, I could basically solve you this film at that point, because I feel like if I experienced this, once I got to that level of like acceptance, the first thing I would suggest is let's meet in person.
That's true.
Let's try and sort this out.
Yeah,
which doesn't happen.
No. Well,
we go the long way around.
It gets pretty dark places before they actually meet each other. So I was just there was not enough freaking out. It was like straight into the romance pretty much from the off.
Yeah.
I mean, you could kind of, and from the start as well, it was already like they were already fancy each other straight away. They're just talking to each other's heads, and they're already like, it was just.
I mean, a question I had here is, what if they shut their eyes? Is the other person just seeing the inside of their eyelids?
I guess so. Yeah. Or they just doesn't go through. I don't know.
I mean, that just
because
so many questions.
Because they have to arrange to meet, don't they? They have to say, oh yeah, at 10. So is it like a conscious thing where it's like, all right, I want to talk to you now? Yeah,
like what happens when you're dreaming?
It's just shut off because I guess no one's.
But you can't shut that off. Like when you're dreaming, your mind's freer than it is when you're conscious. So what if you're just swimming along throughout the dream, and you're like, your minds meet or whatever.
But I guess you can see through the eyes. You're not seeing inside the head. Like they can't read each other's mind. They just see what they're seeing.
Yeah. They can't read each other's mind. I mean, at this point, I just thought this went a bit Freaky Friday, really.
Yeah, it was like
when they're talking about the wives, it's just a bit.
Yeah, she's sneaking off from the husband, and like she was talking. I knew obviously it was gonna be a moment where he came and was like, "What's going on here?" But she was talking like she was just shouting to herself.
Yeah.
I was just like, you're obviously gonna get caught.
I mean, again, I could solve this. This
solve it
plot
for me.
hole, where I wrote down in my notes, Becca should just wear a headphone microphone or a Bluetooth microphone.
But
then she doesn't look crazy.
But then she did that. She had that thing where she picked her phone up for a second, and it was like, okay, why don't you just carry on doing that and pretend you're talking on the phone? And she just didn't do it. She just kept talking to herself. Like, you solved it. You had it. You like picked your phone up and pretended, and then you went, people looking at me thinking I'm crazy, and then just didn't pick the phone up ever again.
Jesus.
I guess we'll go into Becca's past a bit. That's when it goes into that kind of her past, her troubled past, basically. That her mum died. She went into a psychiatric hospital.
Yeah, she did when she was young.
Yeah, and then it's kind of the doctor, her husband, the doctor, kind of
Phil.
Yeah,
We'll call him Phil.
Philip saved her from that or got her through it, and like basically he's controlling her, kind of like keeping her. I mean, he's very like on top of her.
I think he's trying to keep her sane.
Yeah.
And I think that's sort of not villainized, but we see there's a moment where he stops her from having another drink, I think.
Yeah.
And initially I was like, well, what's that about? But then when you find out that she went like off the rails,
yeah,
I think his sort of outlook is more understandable.
Yeah, it's more justified. It's because, I mean, yeah, but then later on he drugs her to put her in a hospital, doesn't he? Which is a bit step too far. I never felt like, oh yeah, he's the worst guy. Like, oh, he was just basically trying to help her. I think.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, she's mine, I'm gonna keep her in this hospital. It was, she might be having another experience of like another traumatic psychiatric experience. Like, I want to save her. It did villainize him quite a bit when he wasn't that bad really. Philip, a bit of a knob, just a bit of a suit.
Another comedy moment here. I think the best line in this film is when Dylan goes to see his parole officer, correctional officer, whatever it is, and is it Giddens? Giddens?
Yeah.
He notices that something different about Dylan, and Dylan says, "Oh, I met someone," and Giddens says, "Oh, you're getting your pecker waxed."
Yeah.
Which for me is the best line in this whole film.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
And so another concern I did have about them establishing this connection is that I was fairly certain that eventually they'd lose the grip on reality.
Which just kind of happened a little bit.
Yeah.
When he's like dancing outside the car wash.
Yeah, like it's... I think they sort of obviously downplayed it because it's not real, but there's not really that... It's more a comedic side of that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you actually had this, it wouldn't take long for you to sort of lose your...
Yeah.
You'd be living another life.
I mean, they don't really try... There's no, like, losing the mind or trying to tell someone, like, what's happening. They just kind of accept it, don't they? It's like, oh, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose it is a rom-com, basically. It's not really a comedy. It's little bits of comedy within, like, a romantic film. Just a bit of a weird romantic film.
So, yeah, they begin romancing each other, basically, flirting.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, we get the comedy capers of, like, being involved in each other's lives.
On a date. Yeah.
Dylan invites Donna, the same woman from the bar.
But she suggests to ask her out.
Yeah, this is where she's giving him a script to say, basically. She goes around, he's trying to cook steaks. I don't know how long he
burns it.
I mean, yeah, I put how long is he cooking those
steak
steaks
like well, obviously depends how you want it, but like 5-6 minutes, like both sides, like 5-6 minutes with both sides being cooked in that time. And he just, I mean, the joke is that he's burnt them, but I mean, he's 20 minutes. He's cooking these steaks for.
Yeah, I mean, there's also a bit, I can't remember where it is. I can't remember what's happening, but Becca calls Dylan a wimp. Which is completely hypocritical, because Becca is the biggest pussy of all time. Isn't she? She is.
She is.
She's like... And the thing is, she knows it. She's got this past and she's like insecure and everything. But the two of them like give each other confidence and, you know, things.
Yeah.
And she calls him a wimp and I was just like, nah, that's bullshit. That's not... That's incorrect.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Donna goes round to Dylan's house, and I don't know if you notice this, but everybody walks into Dylan's and gets a beer.
Yeah.
Every time somebody walks into his...
That's trying to be the whole culture down there, innit? Like,
yeah.
Go and get a cold beer, because he offers her the wine, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he tries to picture... I don't really like how it tries to, like, paint Becca as this, like, oh, very nice, very proper woman. And this Donna's like this, just like some low down slut woman. Like, oh, she's drinking beer. She just wants ketchup on a steak. It's like, what did you want to do? Like,
she's like a crude southern tart.
Yeah, it's like, and she even says that, doesn't she, Becca? Like in his to Dylan.
Yeah.
When she's looking at the sauce, she says like, oh, I can't what she says. But Donna's smelling the sauce, and it's like just gunk in a pan that he's just spat out or something.
Yeah, I mean, this as well, you have an issue here where Dylan says to Donna not to ride along basically for this date.
Yeah.
But Becca doesn't do that. She's like in his head, calling her a bitch or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, Becca ruins that date for him. I mean, it wasn't going well, and she like sabotaged it completely.
Yeah. Which I'm just not happy about that.
I know. I mean, in a way, I guess it's supposed to be like her being being interested in Dylan, but it's not really established at that point that she like properly fancies him.
So then this date ends with a really weird moment.
Oh, where he's that was like just weird.
Jesus Christ. I mean, Dylan goes into the bathroom. The date is basically a disaster.
Yeah. This point, Becca is on like a business meal with her husband.
Yeah, they're at
but she's in the bathroom sneaking off. So they're both in the bathroom. Yeah. And
then Dylan, they start arguing about some bullshit. Is it the fact that
Becca's in the date? Yeah.
And then this is where the reversed feeling comes into it again. The mirrored feeling, whatever. Dylan starts like slapping himself. Starts slapping himself.
And she's feeling it. And she's like, stop. She's not like in massive pain, but it's kind of like a joke slap, but half like you are just slapping a girl.
I think it starts off as a joke and then it turns like serious.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's not like he's beating himself up, but it's like just a bit of force and doing it to her. Like, definitely do it to her.
Yeah.
But it never gets to like if you wanted to properly hurt someone.
I think it was bordering on that. Like,
yeah. And then it's just weird.
Donna swings the door open.
And then the great save of just put some aftershave on. Which I just like head down in my hand. I was just like,
I mean, you just resign yourself to that defeat, man.
I don't know. And then obviously Donna walks out. Blah blah blah. But then what I thought the next day, it's like fine, isn't it? Or is it not?
Yeah, they just sort of.
It's just like, oh, I forgot that you were slapping me last night and that you ruined my date, and we just kind of brushed over. Really, I thought it was a bit of a hole in the. I thought it was going to be falling out, but then stuck in each other's head while not being happy with each other, which would have been another dynamic in there. But they were just kind of fine.
Yeah,
because they never. That's the only time they fall out. Really.
Yeah. So that day is followed by Becca going. I don't know how much time passes, but she goes to some sort of painting class with all these other bureaucrat wife types, I guess, where they're all going to see some dude naked or something. And somebody approaches Becca. Diane. This hoe. Diane approaches Becca, asks her if she's alright,
Because she's acting weird.
Because there's some sort of suspicion there. Becca says that she isn't having an affair, which then exposes
that. Yeah, because
Diane wasn't suspecting that about her.
Yeah,
she thought that she was mentally unstable.
Yeah. So then Diane's like, "Oh, you are an affair." Yeah,
which Becca lies about. She was straight up lies about because before this we have the sex scene.
I've got it down as sex scene on my notes.
Sex scene basically.
I have no other notes apart from sex scene full stop on that one.
Where Becca is drunk.
Yeah.
She's drunk like a full bottle of wine or something. Lounging around in a shirt and no pants.
As you do.
And then Dylan says some line about how pretty she is or something. And like, Becca removes the shirt, brown bottoms.
Brown bottoms. Sorry, boxers.
Both of them get in bed, and it's some sort of weird.
Well, it's like Becca says, "Oh, I want to feel you." So originally they're just like touching their own hands, but obviously the other person feel it. Then like Dylan grabs his own chest and he's just like, And then it's like some sort of near dark. It's like in the dark scene where you just see like a knee or something crop up in the camera, and then like someone's stomach, and then
two become one.
Then Dylan's hand slips down his pants, which is when at first it's like, oh yeah, I get it, like touch each other. It's just like, oh yeah, he's just gonna fucking wank off.
All right, so let me ask you this question. So the feeling is reversed. Him touching himself is touching her, right?
No, he'll be touching himself, but she will feel.
She will feel it, right? So, is this not a ghost cock situation?
Well, what's that?
How would she feel him grabbing his knob? Because she doesn't have one.
But does she just feels what he feels though? She just feels the feeling. And well, I'm saying that. So she'll feel the hand, but she'll feel him touching his own knob, right? But she'll also feel the feel that he's feeling. So essentially, she's just like feeling what he feels, and
right. So she's feeling his brain feeling, not his body feeling, not his limb feeling.
Yeah, but she's also. Oh yeah, I guess so. But she can feel like pain and stuff, so she can feel like the hand as well. So she can feel him grabbing his
but
own
as well,
cock.
she feels force because she gets hit with a pool cue when Dylan gets hit with a pool cue, and she goes like halfway across the room.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
So what is she? Has she got like phantom limb syndrome or something? Where she is.
I guess so. Yeah, she'll just be able to feel it. Yeah.
She's like feeling an imaginary knob.
I guess so. Yeah. But then he'll feel her touching herself.
I mean, well, that doesn't make it normal.
That's what I mean. But I know, but I'm just saying. So that's also weird that he's feeling that. Yeah, that whole scene was just like, well, yeah.
I mean, obviously I knew this was a romance film, and when I realised when you get to grips with their connection, I noted down immediate thought, crazy telepath sex, because I was thinking this was maybe going to be more of a, I guess like a mental thing, but this is some weird stuff like, X-Men stuff, like into the realms of like mental telepath stuff, like some crazy stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty weird.
Like, have you seen X-Men First Class?
No, X-Men is terrible.
It's the three modern ones. Well, the last two are meh, but the first one's
I might check them out then. That's a good review.
But there's a character called Emma Frost who's a mental like Professor X.
Yeah.
Can like move things, read people's minds, all that. And she's like a sort of a baddie. And in the story, she goes to this like military base and is talking to this. She's wearing like a bikini the whole time as well. She's in like Russia, scantily clad.
Standard.
And she's talking to this like military like general, and is like telepathing him, like messing with his head, and he thinks that he is like on the bed, like having it off with her, and somebody else walks into the room, and in reality, she's sat on a couch, and he's on the bed, fondling midair.
All right,
because she's like messing with him.
All right, okay.
So that, if it was them sort of powers, this could have been like crazy. You know what I mean? Like, this is, if people can get inside your head, they're like doing things you don't even know. You know, like the whole, like, how much of your brain do you use or whatever. That whole argument. Like, if someone could get inside your head, they'd be like doing things you didn't even know you could do. Which is a weird, like when you, but it turns out it's just this weird body reversal shit. Yeah. But immediately I was like, this is going to be some weird sex scene coming up.
And it was.
Yeah.
So that from what onwards is pretty much they're in a relationship kind of thing where they're just talking to each other constantly. Which leads to... so Dylan's like talking to himself at work at this car wash. He gets fired because he's talking to himself all the time. And he's obviously the customers are just like, who's this weirdo guy? So he does that. Then I guess then he has that drunken time in the bar with his old friends.
Yeah, why didn't Becca interfere here?
I don't know. I guess she was doing something. She was having a bath or something. It was like...
I don't think that's a valid excuse.
I know. But I mean, that's one thing. Like, at some points they're with each other. I guess at some points of the day they're not with each other. I don't know how it works. They just say, it's just like, oh yeah, I've just got to go out. Yeah, see you later. I don't know.
So Becca lies about this affair. She's straight up lies about it. She says she isn't having an affair.
Well, I mean...
after she's had telepath sex with Dylan.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really explain that. So yeah, then that happens. And then, this Diane woman is like, well, don't worry, your secret's safe with me.
She's a straight bitch.
Secret's
basically.
safe with me.
Yeah.
And then turns up at the doctor's office and was like, well, it's not said, it's a dramatic scene with music's playing. Phil. You just see Phil's face drop.
And you see his ring moving on his finger. Where he's contemplating.
So basically, then when that happens, obviously Philip has no idea that it's a mental affair. So his first train of thought is, let's get her back in the psychiatric ward.
This is where I sort of took a different spin of this. So throughout the whole film, Phil has been having another doctor sort of monitor Rebecca at these dinners.
Yeah.
He's been sort of observing her. And there was a mention of... what was it? There's a mention of schizonarcotherapy, which I'm fairly certain they made up.
Sounds like it.
Obviously, narco is a drug, something like that.
Probably some years, but like drugs.
So I don't know whether Phil suspects that this is what Rebecca has, or whatever. But I sort of... Do you not think this could have been a revenge move for the betrayal of their marriage?
I don't know if he's like that though, Phil.
Oh, that's a question I had. Phil's revenge is to section Rebecca.
I think he's just like, she's had this thing in the past, it's happening again, let's just sort it out and let's just give her a load of pills and sort it out. Which is also a bad way of doing it. Not like let's not talk about it, let's just drug her, get her in the hospital and stick some pills down her throat and that'll sort her out. It was pretty much that. As
well, just before she gets dragged off, there is a breakup scene, basically. Which, in my mind, I thought was a complete rip-off of Her, the 2013 film.
That's a good film. We should watch that instead. Can watch that instead.
Honestly, love that.
Yeah.
Where she is breaking up with him and telling him that they can't speak anymore.
Yeah.
And the scene, although it is it in no way compares to the one with Scarlett Johansson and Joaquin Phoenix where he's on his own, talking to her in his head.
Yeah. And she's
saying, we have to go.
Yeah.
This is it. So they sort of break up?
Kind of. Yeah, but he's drunk, isn't he, Dylan?
Is he at the time?
I can't remember. He's emotional. but yeah, they kind of break up, but I mean, they're still in each other's head, so it's kind of like...
Yeah, this is weird, like, if you broke up, but you just kept popping into her head,
yeah,
like, what do you... What?
Yeah, I mean, another point is that it's a romantic film, but what I was thinking is, like, what if they just didn't get on? And they're on each other's, they're just like on each other's head, just like, oh, fuck's sake, like, this guy. What if some like 50-year-old man, like, it's just like, oh, fuck's sake.
Like a 70-year-old and a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh Christ, that'd be it. That's the comedy spin-off of this.
Yeah.
Like Michael Cera and like John Lithgow.
Yeah.
Ian McKellen and like Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
But actually, going back to the sex scene and that, I thought like if I thought Dylan might have slept with that Donna person. I was wondering what would have happened at that point in time, like.
Yeah, we do actually get this, but sort of reverse, where Phil and Becca have sex, and then she goes out of the bedroom, like when Phil's asleep. Classic, you know.
Yeah.
Back turned, putting a top on, walking out while he's asleep. Scene. Creative. And she sits on the couch, and they start talking, and he's like, "Oh, you feel funny."
Oh yeah, a bit sweaty. He just says that a bit sweaty.
And then, yeah, like she she basically subtly, not subtly at all, but in as many words says, "Oh, we just had sex."
Yeah.
But shouldn't you have felt that?
Well, that's the thing. I think that's when they're shooting it off and stuff like that. I think it's not really clear whether. If one person's shutting it off, can they not feel each other's then? Yeah. Is it like they're both got to be like there? I have no idea.
Like, so the pool cue, she doesn't turn that on. That just happens without her knowing.
But that's when it's like being triggered. It's like, so I don't know. They kind of, yeah. It's not clear whatsoever the really extent to any of this.
Yeah. So anyway. Rebecca gets literally dragged into a
drugged and dragged
psychiatric unit, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that doctor that Phil's been talking to.
We've seen him a few times, and he's an actor that I've seen in other things, but he's not he doesn't have any lines basically.
No, he just kind of whispers.
So she's in the mental facility. He says, "I'm coming to rescue you." He welches on these guys that he said he'd rob this big warehouse with.
Yeah, that's a bit of a non-story in the end, isn't it?
Yeah, alright. He drives past the place that they tell him to scout out, and then welches on the robbery.
Yeah, I thought that. Well, as soon as I saw it, I was like, "All right, he's going to be dragged into the crime again." And she's going to be able to see it, but want him to stop, but like kind of not want him to get caught.
I thought that was why they were going to break up.
Yeah.
He's going to be doing it, and she's going to be like, "Stop it!" He's going to be like, "Fuck off."
Yeah. I thought that was going to happen, but in the end, it was nothing. At the end, it was like that, and actually, Phil's marriage has a bit more of a story to it, but that is just kind of like filling the gaps in between stuff happening. Really, it wasn't really anything. But yeah, so Dylan goes to save Becca in the hospital. Yeah,
and he talks her through picking a lock.
Yeah.
With a fork, which I'm fairly certain is impossible.
I know. Well, you need at least very skilled, Dylan.
You need at least a hairpin, I think.
Well, not Dylan.
I think usually you need two, but you can do it with one. But,
live in a universe where he's inside someone's head as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm questioning the fabric of reality. So yeah, he's on a plane, in a car, an airport. He's on the run from the police.
He doesn't say, "I'm going to save you." He waits on the plane, and she's like, "Why are you on a plane?" "I'm coming for you." It's like, "I'm coming for you."
Oh, Jesus.
Like, did you not say like, "Right, I'm coming in 2 days, I'll be there." Like, I'm gonna get there. Be ready to like escape. Not like, "I'm on a plane."
Yeah, I'm 5 minutes away.
Yeah. You out yet?
So basically, then we get some, just standard shite. running away scenes where he's in a chase with a police car.
Yeah, because he steals a car.
He's at some sort of scrapyard.
Yeah.
Running through a forest. I mean, stop me if there's anything you want to know here. But,
No.
basically,
they're both on the other side of a forest, coming towards the train tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both running for a train.
Train comes.
The train comes, and this is where I was praying there was going to be a twist here. I don't know what you thought.
Yeah.
I was so praying that...
I thought one of two things would happen, but you go first.
So, Becca gets to the train tracks, and shock, Dylan isn't there. He's not there. Where is he? Where is he doing?
Donna.
He says, I'm coming. You can hear him saying, I'm coming.
He's saying that to Donna. He's saying Donna.
I'm back home in the trailer. So I thought, what a twist it would be if Becca is actually crazy and Dylan isn't real, and she stood there at the train, at the train tracks, and he's not real.
Bit of a Fight Club situation. Where it's all inside.
I thought, what a twist that would be if she was actually just...
Yeah, you were ready to go, genius.
Yeah.
Genius. He was all there, all the time.
Obviously...
the 5 darts.
He was there. Incomplete sets. Obviously, I've corrected the film about 3 times. Yeah. But this would have been my best moment, I guess. So then, Dylan turns up, he is real, he's just a bit late, I guess.
Bit tardy.
Yeah.
So then, but it might. So Dave's there's an open, what did they say? Open box cart. So it's like classic one of those trains where you can just jump on that seem to be so common in America, but not.
Yeah, it's an
anywhere
industrial train, not a passenger train.
So they're both gonna jump on there, and they're both struggling to get on. Basically, they're both struggling to jump onto the car, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean Becca isn't running very fast.
No,
like she's barely trying.
But what I thought was either going to happen is that either one was going to get on and the other one wasn't, and then she was going to get caught again, or just be like, "What the fuck's going on?" Yeah. Or they were both going to not get on and be like, "No," and the train was passing, and like, "Oh," because they made so much of them struggling. I thought they're like, "Oh no," so emotional, like, "Oh, I'm not on the train," and then it's like, "Oh, you're still there." We both failed to get on. The police dogs catch up with them and they're both killed.
But
then they both get on.
Just before this as well, before he's revealed to be real, I thought what a twist it would be if when they see each other across the track and the train, you hear the train coming. Yeah. And I thought, what a twist it would be if she stepped onto the track.
But I thought that as well, because she was moving forward, and I thought, what is that actually going to be the twist?
I was praying that was going to happen. That would have been great.
I mean, essentially, the ending is both get on the train and ride off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Or into the snow, but
basically, I think they plan to go to Canada. So,
yeah. I mean, it was So that's the film. Why not? Let's give our thoughts.
So do you want my actual review of the film, or do you want to do rate the ratings?
Would you rate the rating and then give us some? Yeah, and give us some.
All right. So rate the ratings. Musical interlude here. Rate the ratings. I put 7 out of 10. A good idea, and I guess a different twist on a romantic film. The film is rated 4.25 stars.
Yeah.
Like that. So I guess so. I mean, if you've never seen a romantic film before, I guess this would seem really, really cool. But if you're a veteran of the genre, I guess it's sort of not really.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah. So, sort of accurate-ish, I guess.
I'd give it like probably a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I was wavering between 6 and 7.
Yeah.
But
just a reminder, we're rating the rating, not the film itself.
Yeah.
The accuracy of the 4.5. So I get 6 out of 10 because the idea on paper sounded terrible, and when it started, I was like, "Might not be that bad." And as it went on, it was a bit more. It never got to terrible, but it got less and less interesting as it went on.
You know what? I'm going to downgrade my rate the ratings from a 7 to a 6 because more people should be pointing out these glaring plot holes.
Yeah, there was
and
a lot.
I'm saddened by people's lack of destructive criticism.
Yeah, so it was. Yeah, if you watch the film, let us know
Yeah.
what you thought.
Send us your thoughts.
I apologise that the 3 films we've watched so far have been pretty
I know.
average on
We
below.
need an action or something.
We need some sort of. But that's what we're doing next. Segue.
Mm.
We're gonna. That was smooth.
That was a
And
segue.
then we know it was a segue, and it got less smooth as it went on.
Yeah.
But so that was our review essentially. That was us tearing into In Your Eyes for a good while.
Yeah, I mean, if you ignore the plot holes, not that bad.
No, acting's fine. No editing errors or filming. It was just the plot holes, and the story was a bit weak, essentially.
And the 5 darts.
And the 5 darts was just burning in my soul for the 2 hours I was watching it. I was like, for fuck's sake. When will it be answered? 5 darts when?
She should have turned up at the end with the dart. I have the dart.
Here it is. Alright, so that's our review. We're going to now go into the lottery section. Pick a new film to watch next week. So yeah, we'll cut back once we're ready to pick.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Right, so it's time to pick our film. So we're going to start off with the genre. And I'm going to pick it out of the hat.
Your turn this week.
We're hoping for some, not even just action, just a film with something going on.
Yeah.
I want a couple of guns in the next film I see. Right, here we go. Please, Lord. Sci-fi.
Oh, sci-fi classic.
Should be another one. Another could be good, could be bad.
Yeah. I mean, this could be good. Anyway. 3-star and below sci-fi. Oh, God, it's going to be plot hole galore.
Exactly, yeah. It's going to be CGI blunders.
Oh, God.
Right, so onto the rating now. 3 ratings, 5, 4, and 3 and below.
I'm picking this.
Take a pick.
5-star.
Ooh!
5-star sci-fi. Come on.
Right, this could be good. Well, I mean, in the past, we've had 2 5-stars in a row. 3. It's our 3rd 5-star in a row. However, there's not been any 5 stars.
Yeah,
and we've had to go below. But I reckon for sci-fi, there'll be at least a couple 4.5.
Yeah.
Well, it depends what quality are on Netflix, actually.
I mean, there's such a crossover that we're probably going to get an action sci-fi.
Yeah.
Basically.
Right, so now we're going to pick 2 films each from the database and get back to you once we've picked.
Yep.
Cool. Right, so we've both picked 2 films.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've got to pick 2 sci-fi, 5-star. Well, once again, no 5 stars, so above 4-star rated. My turn to pick.
Please pick one of your picks.
Have you gone for bad ones? I've gone for
No,
alright
I've
ones.
just gone for different ones.
Limitless.
Oh,
my pick.
Yes.
Great film. Great film.
Oh, I tell you.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Good. It's good. Well, yeah. So we decided we're going to pick films that we've watched because it's not really about us experience for the first time. It's us just discussing the film pretty much. So let's see what we could have had. The 3 other picks.
I picked Rise of the Guardians,
How's it guys?
an animated. I don't think it's Pixar, but Pixar-esque
Yeah.
film. No idea what it's about. Didn't really want to watch it.
I was much more conservative with my picks.
And then your other pick was X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Because we just talked about that, so I was like,
Uh,
throw him a bone.
You seen that?
No, not seen
No.
it. That's what I was saying.
I've seen it. It's alright. An interesting story. And my last pick was Final Fantasy VII
I saw
Advent
that.
Children.
I was thinking of picking it, but I kind of thought, I don't know if I want to watch that.
I picked it because I don't know. I don't enjoy watching. So yeah.
So yeah, watching Limitless. Like always, watch it. Tell us what you think.
Yep.
We've got a good film. We know we've got a good film.
Finally got some.
We want to watch it. Hopefully now we've seen it as well, we can be a bit more in depth about certain things rather than talk about the whole story. We'll be more talking about certain points, and it is a little more interesting than the past 3 films we've watched. So
yeah.
Cool. That's that rounds up the Netflix segment, I think.
Yep, get on it.
Yeah, watch it. Limitless, and we're gonna go into the chill section now.
Yep.
Cool. See you. Right, so now we're into the chill section of the podcast. Start off with just a bit of news, just to get the section going. So news I've got, I saw Morrissey on Saturday at Manchester Arena. It was really good. Big fan of Morrissey and the Smiths, and classic band on meat in the arena. So standard Morrissey really. But yeah, if he's ever touring, I recommend seeing him.
How many were there?
How many?
Is it a full MEN?
Yeah, it was sold out. He's from Manchester, isn't he? So.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm not sure if he sells at any other arenas, but Manchester always going to be for him, I think, pretty much. Yeah. Any news from you?
No, not really. A few weeks ago I went and saw the new Star Trek. It's shite.
Standard.
Yeah, that's... and then I went on a couple of days ago and went and watched Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I saw that as well. About a week ago.
Yeah, well, I want your sort of review of it first, because you're not really a comic book guy, but...
No. Or a superhero guy, really. Yeah. I like certain films, but I'm not like... don't want to see every single one.
Yeah.
So my view was... I liked it overall. I thought you could tell a lot of the editing and the plot was like mashed together, and like some bits were a bit... It's mainly I like certain aspects of it, and that kind of overshadowed the worst bits for me. I thought Jared Leto as a Joker was pretty good, actually. Hit the bits he was in.
Yeah, he was solid.
And that overshadowed the worst bits of the film, which were there also quite a few of, including the CGI.
Yeah.
So I thought it was like, I don't know, 6 out of 10. Like, pretty good, not terrible. 7 out of 10. But yeah, I'm guessing you as a comic book guy have different angle, pretty much completely, because...
Yeah, I mean, I'm going through these films with not a very fine tooth comb, but I'm expecting... I don't know whether I just have high standards for films, but I'm expecting...
Yeah.
With the amount of hype they got around this film and what they said it was going to be, they completely failed to deliver, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, the casting is good. I don't think anybody gives a bad performance.
No.
It's an issue of production and editing and studio interference, basically. Yeah, I think Jared Leto he's alright as the Joker. I mean, he's not it's hard to follow Heath Ledger, but...
Yeah, he just needs more time on screen with it. He needs a story, essentially. He didn't really have a story to go with. He was just kind of in and out, wasn't he? We didn't really have a...
Yeah, I mean... CGI for me was quite poor.
Yeah.
In spots.
For the budget, I mean.
Yeah.
Like, no excuses for DC, really.
Yeah, I think DC as a company are basically one film away from one more bad film, and it's gonna start collapsing.
And it's not looking good. I mean, but Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman are the grossing, like incredibly highly grossing. But
yeah, they make loads of money, but
so obviously they still got the money, but eventually the people just think, no, 2 times you tricked me into watching that for a really good trailer.
Yeah, I think for some people this has been the film where they've said, like, after this I'm not going anymore.
Yeah, this is last straw.
But anyway,
it'd be interesting where they go. But yeah, so that's the news. So this week, what are we doing? We're doing we've not got a name for it, but 21 questions, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people have played. But we'll say what it is. Basically, you have something that in your head, and this for us it's going to be a TV show or a film. Either person has 21 questions to ask, and they've got to try and find the answer. So
you're only allowed one guess, but you can guess at any point.
Yeah, guess throughout the questions, but that counts as a question, obviously. You're saying, is it that?
Yeah.
Is it that film?
Yeah, I guess so.
So yeah, we'll get into it. Do you want to go first? As in you have the film or CV series.
All right, let me pick one. I'll try and pick an easy one to start with.
Nah, I don't want it easy, lad.
All right, I've gone.
All right. So I'm gonna put some questions, like the amount of questions I'm doing. I don't want to like lose track of me. Like, is it 12? Right. So number one question is it a film?
Yes.
Okay. Was it released in the past? Was it released in this decade? So like 2010s?
No. Curveball.
Was it released in the 2000s?
No. That's the rest of United questions gone. Just going back 10 years at a time.
90s?
Yes.
Right. Is it a comedy?
Parts of it are funny, but I wouldn't say it was a comedy.
Okay. Where do I go from here? Right, so I guess I need to guess what
You have to.
what other genre it is. So does it feature like blockbuster actors? Is it like big names?
Yeah.
Right. Is it also a gangster movie?
No.
Listen now. Sci-fi?
No.
Fuck me. Romantic? Does there's a bit of romance in there as well.
There's a bit of romance, but it's not a romantic. Well, I guess there's a sort of an overarching theme of romance, but it is not a romance.
Have I seen the film?
You must have.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh. Does it star Harrison Ford?
No.
Oh, fucking hell. What was Indiana Jones? It's a bit of comedy, also romance in one of them.
No, you.
Oh,
well,
that's the only glint of hope I had. Is the main leading role is a man?
Yeah.
Is it set in America?
The most part of it is, yeah, but there are brief periods in other.
Jesus Christ, I've got nothing here. I've got nothing. Okay, so some of it's in America, big actors, 90s. Bit of romance, bit of comedy. Is it an action film? There's going to be a bit of action, isn't there?
There is. I guess it's. Yeah, there's bits of action, but it's mostly implied action. That's sort of a bit difficult to explain it, really.
1990s.
How many questions are you on?
14. Does it star Leonardo DiCaprio?
No.
Fucking hell. I just go for some big actors. Brad Pitt?
No.
I don't know what else to do. I'm struggling. I should have gone first. I need to take some tips from you.
Exactly, yeah.
Was it well received? Reviews?
Yeah.
American Beauty?
No.
That's out of the blue. I've never seen that film. I've got 3 questions left. I've just got to guess. I don't even know though. Right.
You're gonna kick yourself, honestly. You're gonna kick yourself.
Is it one of my favourite films? Or would you say I really enjoy it?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'd be surprised if you didn't enjoy this film.
Alright, okay. Is the main actor white or black? Because it makes a difference.
Am I not always supposed to say yes or no?
Oh yeah. Is the main actor white?
Yeah.
I gave him nothing. I thought if it was a black guy, we'd narrow it down, because... Oh, for the last question, I don't even know. I don't know what it is, right. I don't know.
Just do it.
Edward Scissorhands.
No.
What is it?
It's the 1994 drama starring Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump.
I wasn't nowhere near that. I was nowhere near it.
I thought when you got to Harrison Ford, I thought maybe you're on the right track, say, because you said a bit of this, a bit of that.
Yeah, but I was I was veered off.
Because there's like bits of action with the Vietnam thing, and bits of comedy because he's funny, and a bit of romance because he's in love with Jenny, but it's not a definite.
Right.
Oh, Christ. You keep tabs of the questions then, because I've got the.
Oh, right, okay. Well,
thing,
yeah, I'll go out my phone. Yeah, I'll just count in my head. Right, which one should I do? Okay, start with that one.
Is it a comedy?
No.
Is it a drama?
You could class it under that, but I wouldn't specifically put it under there. And that was not what yes answer, but it was in between.
Is it an action film?
Yes. But I wasn't confident yes.
Is this a film that is rated 12 or higher?
Yeah.
Is this an animated film?
No.
Is this a film that was released in the last 10 years?
No.
Before 2006?
Yeah.
Is this a film I've seen?
I assume you have. I'd be very surprised if you haven't.
Oh, God. Is this film set in... At the time the film was released, was it set in the modern day?
Yeah. See, this is the point where you have no trails in it.
Does this film have a male lead character?
Yeah. That's 10 questions.
Is this male character violent?
Yeah.
That's not helping me at all. Was this film released in the 90s?
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. God. I can't think of.
So
Is this a blockbuster?
yeah.
Actor?
Yes. You can't look at the DVD list. It's not even in there. It's not in there.
Oh God.
Or is it there? No, it's not.
Is this a film set in America?
Yeah.
Well, still doesn't help me.
I know, yeah. These questions. You're on 14 at the moment.
Did we establish a date before 2006?
90s.
90s. A 90s blockbuster actor in a violent film.
It narrows it down.
Oh. You know what? Are we gonna do an all-in option where I can do a definite guess? If I think I know it, can I straight up guess it?
We can guess it now, yeah. Yeah. You say it.
Is it Die Hard?
No. You went all in.
How many questions have I got?
6.
Does this count of a question if I say, am I on the right line?
You're not on any line at the moment.
as Die Hard.
Barely. Like, kind of, but not really.
It's not. It's an action film.
Yeah, but like not confidently action film. But I guess you could.
Confidently action.
Like it's not like yeah, action film. But I guess you could class it under that if you
Is this one of your favourite films? Do I know it's one of your favourite films?
I don't know if you know it's one of my favourite, but it is my favourite. And it is one of my favourites. And I imagine it's a lot of people's favourites.
Oh my god, I can't think of it.
That was quite a lot of information for a yes.
Oh god. Should I have got it by now?
Nah, you've not been close. You got 2 questions left.
Oh, for God's sake.
Do do
90s action film.
do do
Oh, there's so many.
do do. Yeah, but like I say, it's not action like it's not Die Hard.
I think I might have just got this.
Go on then.
Is it Jaws?
No. That's 70s.
Oh no. Oh my god. This is so difficult.
Last question. All in. See, I was at this point of no leads and just having to guess a film out of thin air.
Well, I can't guess an actor because then I'll not get it, so I'm going to have to just pick a film.
Yeah.
Oh god. I can't even think of a 90s film.
It's just the eyes are a blank.
I mean, we were barely around then.
Don't be using excuses.
I can't even think of a film. Is this Lethal Weapon?
Nah. But right, you never asked the question if it was TV or film. But it is a film. It is a film. It is a film though. It is a film though. Fight Club.
Oh my god. That was...
1999.
No way. I would have said that was like 2003.
Sneakily 90s. Sneaky.
Oh my god, you bastard. Right, I'm making it difficult.
That's not difficult.
I'm making it even tougher. Maybe I won't go full difficulty at the moment.
Don't go balls deep at this point.
There's 3 films that I want to do back, and if we're only doing 3 each, I can only pick 2. I want to do all 3. Oh god. Right, yeah, I've got one. I mean, if neither of us had hope for those ones, I don't think you've got any hope for this. So.
Maybe we're just both terrible at this game. Right. Is it a film?
Mm-hmm.
Released in past 10 years?
No.
90s?
No.
2000s?
No.
80s?
No.
Fucking hell. 70s?
No.
60s?
No.
What the fuck?
Oh my, are you keeping count of these? 60s, no.
50s?
No.
40s?
Yeah.
Fuck me, lad. Oh, you've seen a film from the 40s. Ben-Hur. Right, was it set in the present time in the 40s?
Yeah.
In the present time in the 40s. Do you think I've seen it? Oh, yeah, I think I've seen it.
You should have.
Well, so I definitely know of it.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
So set in that time, 40s. Set in America.
Yeah.
Is it to do with the war?
Not really, but sort of. Well, no, actually, I guess it isn't. But
it's just happening at that time.
Yeah, but no, it's not to do with the war.
Alright, okay.
I'll make a
okay.
a cut there. It's not.
Is it to do with race?
No.
'40s. Okay. Is it a serious film?
Yeah.
Serious film in the '40s. Not about the war. Is there much action in the film?
No. Not action like action scenes.
Yeah. Is it well reviewed?
Yeah.
Is it Citizen Kane?
No.
Oh fuck. Right, three left.
Just 3.
Because I went through all the fucking decades.
Exactly. And you could get you like this.
Alright, so it's Citizen Kane. That might not even be the 40s anyway. Does it... Oh, what's that guy called? I don't think he's 40s anyway. No, he's not. Is it... Oh, I can't even think what it could be. I don't think I've seen a film from the 40s.
Yeah,
Is it on TV a lot?
That's a complicated question to ask.
Is it... Oh, go on. If you're going to say anything.
I'm going to say... It's both. It both is and isn't.
Right, this is I've never seen this film, and I probably should have seen it, but I've got a feeling is it The Great Escape?
No.
Oh, is that in the 40s? I don't know.
I think it's set in the 40s. I think it was released in the 50s. So.
Oh, right. I've never seen that.
I thought
that was because it's on every like New Year's Day or whatever, or Christmas, but it's never on any other time. So I thought that was the. Just on.
How many questions have you got?
One.
Oh, dude.
I am that close.
Oh.
So I don't know what The Great Escape is like. Fucking hell, I'm gonna be like, what? I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah.
The Great Dictator.
No.
As a guess out of the blue.
It is the 1946 film starring James Stewart.
Don't know.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh.
One of the best films of all time. You see, you were so close there when you said The Great Escape is on at New Year and Christmas.
All right.
If you'd asked me if it was on at Christmas, you would have had me.
I probably wouldn't have got that though. I know the name, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
Well, the film is released in 1946, set in 1945, so it's just post-war. Which is why on the war one I was like, it is wartime, but it isn't.
Yeah. Right. My
go.
turn.
Right, you are keeping count.
Yeah.
Is it a film?
No.
Oh.
Switching it up.
Is this programme still running?
No.
Do you know when it was released?
Do I know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it released in the past? Did it come on TV in the past 10 years? Was it originally?
Yeah.
Past 10 years. After 19...
Yeah, it is after 19.
After 2006.
Is that another question?
No, I'm talking about in the past 10 years after 2006.
Yeah.
Is it a comedy?
No.
I keep nervously looking at James's collection of DVDs trying to find the answer. after 2006. Have you seen all of this series?
No.
Is it Breaking Bad?
No.
Is it... Did I ask you if it's a comedy?
Yeah, I said no.
It's not a comedy. Is this a violent TV show?
No.
Is it set in America?
Yeah.
Right, let me just think through this. After 2006, it's not running.
No.
It's not running, it's set in America. After 2006, and it's not a comedy. Does this star a big... Is there a big star in this?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you who he is.
A big star. Not a comedy. And it's not violent.
No.
And you've not seen all of it. Is it on Netflix?
I'm gonna have to check because I knew at one point it was, which is also a hint. But I'm gonna have to check right now.
You see, are you sure? Do you know this is after 2006?
Yeah, I know it is definitely.
Because after 2006.
No, it's not on Netflix.
Is it set in America? Is this an animated show?
No.
Is it a male lead character?
Yeah.
Have I seen this program?
Mm-hmm.
Have I seen all of this program?
No. From my knowledge.
Set in America. I've seen some of it.
Mm. I'm pretty sure you've not seen all of it. So I'm not 100%, but I'm 80% sure.